All right, and hello to everyone, and welcome to Trenton 365. Now is the time that I'm going to be bringing to you some cool information, and we're going to be talking about hemp and miracle marijuana. But before we do that, we always encourage you to make sure that you follow us on all social media platforms. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can also follow out my other efforts on WIMG 1300, which is on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram as well, and also through Black Cannabis. Black Cannabis can be found on the website Black-Cannabis. And big shout out to Philly Reps who are putting together my new campaign, which is part of that rebranding, which will be coming out shortly. So also Macy's, Quaker Bridge Mall, you can get items like this. This is Tommy Hilfiger, and also shout out to Vision Works out of Ewing Township for my eyewear by Cole Haan. So now, without any further ado, I want to bring on to my old friend, Preston Hall. Some of you may see him around town talking about cannabis and hemp, and his social media images often show him exercising, and he's got that cool t-shirt that says hemp hustler, and you can probably see him around doing that. But today we want to bring out his co-partner, or his partner in this effort of cannabis and CBD, and that is Regina Schoenberg. And Regina, welcome to the Trenton 365 show.
Thanks, Josh. Thank you for having me. Really happy to be here.
That's awesome. I know that we have a limited amount of time, but I always find it important for my audience to be able to find and make a connection with whoever I'm bringing on. So can you just pull the information basically from your website and tell about who you are, and also your introduction to medical marijuana and cannabis?
Sure thing. My name is Regina Schoenberger. I'm from Mercer County, New Jersey resident. I've known Preston for half my life. We've been best friends for a really long time. And we started Cannabates because we are passionate about cannabis, and we wanted to help people save money because there is a sea of different hemp products, CBD products, as we all know. I'm specifically passionate about this because I suffer from severe chronic pain, and cannabis has changed my life. I have digestive issues and endometriosis. So cannabis has allowed me to live a better quality of life. And I also have been working in the medical marijuana industry in New Jersey for the past 5 years, helping patients enroll in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So I'm passionate about helping people heal naturally with plant medicine.
Mm-hmm. And if it's okay, what's the name of the doctor that you work for, and give them a shout out?
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you allowing me to plug them. But
Sure.
Dr. Vincent Leonti, he's in Lawrenceville, and it's a functional medicine integrative practice that
Okay. And
also specializes in enrolling in medical
okay.
marijuana.
And so if folks are looking, his name is Vincent Leonti.
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct. The
All right.
family
Excellent.
medicine practice. Yep.
All right, cool. Great, great. Big shout out to him. And hopefully you can connect Trent 365 with him, and we can bring him on and talk about his practice as well. That'd be awesome, because we know that as human beings, there is no one anything that serves all, right? You know, we
Yeah.
all need the basic functions of air and water and shelter and love and all those things. But for the most part, what makes me happy and I find joy in what I need to be the best person I can be may not work for either one of you, and that's okay. Diversity is also a really good thing. So thank you very much for that. So Preston, folks know you from the Trenton 365. You've been on the show multiple times. Like I said, you got the hemp hustler wear going on basically. So what have you been up to lately? I know COVID has definitely put a strain on what's happening with the hempcrete, et cetera. So why don't you just talk about what you've been up to?
So during this past year, we've been building out the industrial side for the plant. Yes, this is year one for hemp. It was an amazing year. We had 59 license holders secure a license. We're still tallying the final amount of producers who cultivated and saw their operation through to harvest. 18 processors. These processors mostly did CO2 extraction and other, maybe like ethanol to the high CBD plants. We didn't see too many, pretty much none at all, decorticating centers or other fiber processing. But the good news is plenty of years to come to make that awesome and implement that. So this year we've been focusing on distributing products made out of hemp. Right now we're introducing hemp eyewear to the New Jersey market, tri-state area. Hempcrete continues to be very popular. We're getting a lot of interest in it from construction developers and contractors. We're not seeing any houses made out of it yet, but there's still plenty of opportunity to implement that. The good news is ratings regarding hempcrete are now being established and systemized throughout the country, which is a very important thing to happen.
Awesome. Preston, can you talk about a couple of the organizations, trade organizations that you're a part of, that you recommend people, if they want to find out more about hemp, how they can reach out to them?
Agreed. Yes, you should in this tri-state area, we should look to the Pennsylvania Hemp Industry Council, neighbors on the other side of the border. Great leadership on that front. Here in New Jersey, look for the National Hemp Association. Leo Bridgewater is head of, I believe, diversity and making sure that culture is definitely integrated within this new federally legal part of cannabis. So Leo is doing great work making sure that happens. And in New York, look for a Facebook group called the New York Hemp Processors Facebook group. And of course, in New Jersey, we have the New Jersey Hemp Facebook group, so you can connect with all your fellow hempsters here in the state.
Gotcha. So it's the Pennsylvania Hemp Industry Council, the National Hemp Association, and the connection locally is Leo Bridgewater, who's also a part of Black Cannabis. And then we also have the New York Hemp Processors. Is that what you said?
Yep,
A Facebook group. Got you. All right, fantastic. And as you get that information over to me, I'll make sure that I start getting that information out to our networks as well, so that people not only are getting it from me, but they can connect with those organizations on their own specifically. Regina and Preston, although both of you come to hemp and cannabis from the standpoint of health related, your stories are totally different. Preston, can you just talk about your experiences as a caregiver? And then Regina, if you'd slide in and talk about your story.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when it comes to hemp, the patient I care for is my mother. She is unfortunately not seeing the best benefits from hemp, more so because she has nerve pain, and the nerve pain would be best dealt with a higher THC count inside of a product. So of course that makes hemp not applicable because we got to keep THC marks at 0.3%. So the medical marijuana program has proved to be very beneficial for her. It makes the pain tolerable, comfortable. It helps with the anxiety and depression that the conditions cause. So on a given day, it's, you're dealing with nerve pain plus anxiety and depression, which you have to be able to balance the right strains appropriately. Now, the topicals have helped. The hemp topicals have helped, but when it comes to nerve pain, Regina can speak better to the marijuana being a better choice.
Yeah, Regina, why don't you share your story? Because I think that not only is it relevant because you're a woman, but also I think that it's opening up conversations. Because I think sometimes men in particular want to shy away from certain conversations, and we've got to get beyond all of that. And I think that the partnership that the two of you have in sharing it is a great opportunity to say, hey, look, no, this is for everyone, and listen up.
Absolutely. I will shout it from the rooftops. I definitely don't like shying away from cannabis because it's changed my life so much. So being a medical marijuana patient myself, and then also supplementing with CBD, because we know CBD has extremely high anti-inflammatory properties. It's helped me out tremendously. So with endometriosis, 1 in 10 women have it, and it can take an average of 10 years to get diagnosed because it's really hard to sort of understand what's going down there. It can sometimes feel like indigestion. It can sometimes feel like period cramps, and the average gynecologist isn't trained to even diagnose it. So the point being is that I've been bounced between GI doctors and gynecologists for 10 years. And in that time, the only relief that has been suggested to me is to take hormone medication, opioid medication, or surgery. So surgery, not everyone wants to just dive into the surgery bed. So I was really looking for a natural alternative to help with nausea, severe vomiting, extreme abdominal pain that would basically have me cancel events, important things that I have to do, to family gatherings 2 minutes before, because the pain is so unpredictable, like many other chronic illnesses. So I can say that cannabis has helped me be able to get up and go to work in the morning, deal with the anxiety of pain that I have, and yeah, just help me be able to enjoy food as well, which is food is life. So
Hmm. Wow. And I think that I'd like for you to drill down on the food portion of it, because I'm a bit of a foodie, and that's something that even during this research and trying to think about it, it didn't even dawn on me how endometriosis could cause those issues with just eating. It just didn't trigger in my mind.
and that's the thing with endometriosis. Most women they have and I actually want to be inclusive because it's not just women, it's people that have endometriosis. um, because with that, you have period cramps, and we sometimes just brush that under the rug, which I did when I was a teenager. I was like, that's just regular period cramps. But um, the main, well, I want to say one of the more prominent treatments is hormone medication, which can also spin the disease out of control. I'm learning more and more about this disease as I go. But the point is that a lot of women don't know that they actually have the disease until 10 years later. So it can manifest itself into pretty severe symptoms. So pretty much 10 days out of the month, if I eat anything, I'm throwing it up on the toilet. Doesn't matter if I eat cheese, gluten, dairy, and an anti-inflammatory diet can help. But with this disease, it's and for a long time, the definition of it online you see is actually incorrect. So you'll see a popular definition that it is endometrial-like tissue that has escaped the uterus and latched onto different organs. But really, we're finding now with new research that it's not necessarily escaping from the uterus. It's this tissue that we don't know how it gets there. And again, a lot of women suffer from this and don't realize that they have it. So yeah, vomiting and not being able to enjoy food because of like severe abdominal cramping and pain is an issue for me. And cannabis definitely helps with that. It helps with the inflammation, it helps with nausea, and it helps me able to just enjoy a meal.
Hmm. All right, well, great. Thank you for that. And I think that's going to help. I think clear some thoughts that a lot of people will have. And I think that, I want to kind of like drive this in a bit of a different direction other than what we already talked about. But you're just opening up my eyes to some things. And I think that it makes sense for us to, as we're going live, to just go ahead and let's just keep rolling with that. And I think it's important for people to get a full understanding of what is this cannabis plant? What is the marijuana plant? And going from off of your website, I think that you lay it out very nicely, where you talk about THC, CBD, CBG, and then you talked about. Why don't we start there? Let's talk about this plant: THC, CBD, and CBG.
Yeah, so there are over 113, there's probably more at this point since the last time I've checked, active compounds found in the plant. And when you look at medical marijuana, so the state of New Jersey only tests for 4 of them. When you look on your recommendation labels, you'll see THC, CBD, CBG, and CBN. I would like regulation to expand because of the fact that we do have so much more than that. So the point of cannabates is really to educate people on the different medicinal benefits of the cannabinoids, because THC is going to target nerve pain. We know THC has a special relationship with the central nervous system. CBD is going to target inflammation. And I do see the confusion with a lot of patients. A lot of patients are using CBD and they say, this is not necessarily helping me with my neuropathy. But then when they combine THC, the synergistic effects that these two cannabinoids share, knowing that THC has a special relationship with the central nervous system, they find that it's just a pain powerhouse. So the point is that these different cannabinoids, they do target specific symptoms, whether that's inflammation, whether that's neuropathy. CBG, for instance, can promote gastric motility. So if you're someone that's suffering gastrointestinal issues, Crohn's disease, or maybe you have IBS. You're not someone that makes a bowel movement every day. You want to check up on those CBG strains because they're going to help you. Yeah, they're going to help in that respect.
And
Fantastic,
especially,
Preston. Preston, yeah, thank you for jumping in, Preston. But I wanted to bring you in. Other than the statement that you were going to make, I'd like you to elaborate and simplify the endocannabinoid system for folks, just so that they can get a better, more simplified understanding of it, and then take it from there.
so the endocannabinoid system is similar to a lot of the other systems in your body, the nerve, the central. Think of it as like the dirt roads that connect your entire body. So the endocannabinoid system, it has different receptors, CB1, CB2, which do different physiological effects to you. These will be primarily centered in your mouth or in your digestive tract, of course, found on your skin as well. So these will help, it helps maintain homeostasis within your body to make sure that all the systems are working balanced and synergistically together. Where one part of your body tends to fall off, it will ripple effect across your entire body. So keeping a balance, and especially when you work with Regina's doctor's office, the functional medicine helps you balance out other parts of your body while you're also learning about the endocannabinoid system through Cannabates. So it's great synergy.
Yeah, that's awesome too. I love, it's like cool product placement. Sometimes you don't even know it's there, but like when we hear it, it clicks. So awesome job of doing that. Thank you for the plugs again. But when we talk about the difference between THC, CBD, and CBG, I try to explain to folks just on a regular basic level. Hey, the THC is what's going to give you that psychotropic feeling, that feeling of being high, so to speak. And the CBD is going to be the benefits same, but without the psychotropic percentage of. And now with the CBG, what would you think is a good way to explain to folks the CBG portion?
So a lot of the cannabinoids, they tend to change with different structurally as the chains develop. So the CBG is almost what we call the mother cannabinoid. It's what a lot of the cannabinoids tend to change into, like CBD. So a lot of the research is saying that the CBG is one of the more powerful cannabinoids, and thus makes all the other cannabinoids further along in the chain.
And THC is the only psychoactive molecule found in the plant. So really, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I mean, is CBG going to get me high? Is CBD going to get me high? THC does produce these euphoric stimulating effects, and you're going to find different levels of these cannabinoids in every strain.
Mm-hmm.
But THC, sure.
And I know with your medical background, your explanation, Regina, is very scientific. And for the average person out there, when we talk about euphoric, that's not a euphoric necessarily meaning you're not in control of yourself. It's a different feeling that you're having because your endocannabinoid system is getting regulated and corrected and balanced. It's almost as if when you're very thirsty and you drink of refreshing water, you start to feel better. That's what we're talking about with the euphoric. Not that it's anything that's going to change how you're acting, but it's going to give you a better feeling. Leo Bridgewater, you mentioned him earlier. Leo explained it to me one time with this example. He said, someone who doesn't normally move around the house may start moving around more and not realize that they feel better. Their knee doesn't hurt as much, or they have a bit more of whatever that allows them to keep moving forward.
Absolutely. And I do appreciate that clarification. And the fact that THC, maybe if you are a first-time user, you know the stimulation from THC can, you're going to feel something. But if you are someone that has a medication routine, you're focused on the dosing, you're going to build a tolerance to it, and you're not going to lose your faculties. You're going to be in control, and it's really just about your body getting used to it and getting accustomed to it.
Awesome. Great. Preston, I want you to talk about the terpenes, the different scents and so to speak that go along with them.
Right. So those are like the essential oils found inside the plant. like most plants, they all have terpenes, but cannabis, it's predominantly found in there as well. So depending on the symptoms or condition that a patient might have, there might be terpenes that might help aid in complementing your regimen to alleviate your symptoms. And we're starting to see even better news is that terpenes are starting to be isolated as well. So you're starting to see products out there where you don't necessarily need to get the terpenes straight from cannabis. You can go out and get a tincture of linalool. You can go get a tincture of pinene, and then of course use your cannabis as well, and you'll get even better effects. So one of the bottleneck problems here with the medical program in the state is that we're not testing for terpenes on the labeling.
It's an issue.
We're not even too sure how prevalent it is inside of the product. And we're even seeing, since we're not testing regularly, these levels could be fluctuating every year. So, you might see testing that happened last year. Well, the strains and the composition of the molecules are going to be different than they are this year. So terpenes are definitely another tool in your toolbox to help alleviate your pain or get your goals accomplished.
They help the person fine tune the effect. If they're looking at, is this going to make me more sedative? Am I going to be feeling creative? I feel that the terpenes, when you focus on them, they fine tune the effects that you're going for when you're, I like to say medicating, but yeah, if you're medicating or if you're using it recreationally.
And I want you both to transition now, talk about the website, because on the website you make it very clear that being trustworthy is very important. Making sure that the quality of products that you're distributing, that you're signing off on, co-signing off on, or whatever, is of a certain quality. Can you talk about the importance of that?
Absolutely. So there's a sea of CBD products out there. We can't deny it, and I love it too. I love seeing, as we were talking about earlier, there's just a myriad of different methods of use, but it's really, really important to know what's inside your product. And it's important for the company to provide these reports easily. So we definitely recommend transparent CBD companies. Are they providing batch reports? Are they showing the cannabinoid profile? We talked a little bit about it, some of these cannabinoids earlier, THC, CBD, CBG. We know with hemp products, even if they're full spectrum, they're not going to be testing above a certain percentage of THC, 0.03, correct?
0.3.
Yeah, 0.3%. So with that being said, we want to know exactly how many cannabinoid or what the concentration of cannabinoids are. We want to truly know if this is a 250 milligram CBD tincture, is that actually true? So do they provide the cannabinoid profile reports? Are they showing the terpene profile? Not a lot of companies I noticed are doing that, but I feel like that's changing now. I'm noticing that more CBD companies are showing the terpene profile batch reports, and not even just the terpenes and the cannabinoids, but we want to know if these companies are testing for heavy metals. Hemp is a bioaccumulator. When it's planted in the ground, it's going to suck up everything, whether that's lead, metals. So we want to show, the company should be transparent in showing that they're testing for that. What are some other, I feel like this is Preston knows a lot more about these reports. What are other types of reports in terms of, I know there's lead, metal.
Yeah, so there's mycotoxins, there's E. coli. You want to see what kind of bacteria, mold, especially mold, because that was one of the problems with here in year one in New Jersey. We had a lot of pests and disease happening within the plants. And these first time cultivators are sometimes just trying to make sure that they, of course, get it right, but it's going to be a fail year one, or there's going to be not the ideal crop yield. So, you want to make sure that
but they're readily available.
Well, crops that aren't being processed, that shouldn't be, are actually, we're teaching you how to read those lab reports so you understand how to read them and know that, hey, this has higher levels of mold. Okay, this has no levels of mold, and these are the standards that we expect manufacturers to adhere by.
Yeah, we're noticing that companies, it's not even just one thing. The fact that they have these batch reports is how readily available are these. Some companies are allowing you to scan a QR code right on the tincture bottle, which I think is great. Some of them post them directly to the website, but then some you have to reach directly out to the company and ask for them. So having them accessible to the patient is extremely important.
Mhm. So even in the scientific realm of it, the testing realm of it, it's still like the wild, wild west. Some are doing it much better than others. Some aren't doing it at all. And it's good that the Cannabates website, cannabates.com, is where people can go get true, trustworthy information, knowledge. I would assume personal reference for products, et cetera. Are there any that you'd like to highlight?
Yeah. So I guess we'll just do the basic delivery methods. Tinctures. We like Ananda, and we like Lazarus. Lazarus is a really great one. And Ananda, topicals wise, we like Momed. Momed's a local tri-state one. We actually ended up going to school with one of the founders there. That
Oh,
one,
cool, cool.
yeah. So Momed has great topical use. Um, Edible wise, not really seeing a lot of CBD edibles on the market. The FDA and the DEA have been putting out language that's really been scaring people from manufacturing these. So we're yet to really find too many edibles that we recommend that aren't just doused in sugar.
Which is why we like Momed, because
Yeah.
if you're fighting inflammation, which I mean, I get it, sometimes, CBD can have an earthy taste, but if you're fighting inflammation, sugar causes it. So if you're taking a CBD
Like a gummy.
doused in sugar, it's, you know, counterproductive. But I understand if people don't have necessarily, maybe they're taking CBD for anxiety. That's a great, yeah, alternative. But Momed is definitely a great brand.
We're shying away from recommending cartridges as much as we like the idea. It's because we're seeing that we want to see cartridges that are like available in the MMP program, something made with essential oils only. We don't want to be inhaling MCT oil or coconut oil as a binder. Where we just don't really recommend that. So you won't find too many. You really won't find any cartridges on the site. Actually, CBD lube for the holiday season to make everyone happy in the household. I mean that. So happy wife, happy life, and why have an argument when you can have sex with CBD lube?
Right.
So
Word up, man. Word up, dude. Now more and more everybody knows why I like him so much, man. Let's just keep it simple and keep it sweet, man. Make love, not war. We're all into this for the same reason, man. So look, we've got a couple of minutes left, because we got to stay on time and pay the bills, etc. But I do want to make sure that if there's anything in particular that you wanted to share and that you wanted to make clear to folks who are apprehensive or unsure about cannabis, CBD, CBG, even THC, what would you like to share with them? Each of you, take your time.
I mean, I know, just not even just speaking from my own personal testimony, but it's just the fact that pharmaceutical medication doesn't necessarily have to be uh, the first resort. And we've seen the damage that a lot of different pain management medications can take. So there's really a lot of information out there. And this is a plant that has been used for thousands of years across countless countries and cultures. And if you stop using the plant, you're not going to have physical withdrawal symptoms like you see with other pharmaceutical medications. So it's definitely a safe alternative that can give you a better quality of life. I'm extremely passionate about educating people on the plant and supporting people in any way I can. So if anyone has questions, reach out to info@cannabates.com. But just the fact that I've seen it give enrich so many people's lives, give them a better quality of life, be able to drive again. I've worked with patients that have seizure disorder that were bedridden all throughout high school and then were able to go to college. Chronic pain patients that can't walk, that are able to just get up and enjoy their day. So really, it's just about healing naturally.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, Cannabates is about providing cannabis coupon codes to save money, and everyone just eventually does their own experimenting. So when you come to our site, we're going to show you trial options. We're going to show you sample boxes that you can try out the different dosing on a small scale, on a financially reasonable scale, so that way you can find exactly what you want. We are here to not just push products and keep a warehouse full of inventory. We're here to just give you savings on what works. what you believe might work, and hopefully find the right choice that will make your life a lot better.
Fantastic. Preston Hall and Regina Schoenberger of Cannabates, thank you so much for your time, and I can't wait to sit down and chat with you more and to support all of the efforts. And any special codes people should look for on the website?
I think, yeah, so body check is, and I could talk about this stuff forever, but we're going to see a lot about mushrooms, and not the magic kind. I love those, but functional mushrooms, mushrooms that can help with inflammation, regulate your blood sugar, reduce stress. And Body Check is a company that was founded by NHL hockey player Riley. And there's, if you use code Cannabates, I believe you get 10% off of the products at checkout.
And they also have little sample packs, so you can get about 5 to 10 capsules. See if it's a great fit. I personally take 3 capsules at night and sleep very well.
But they're combining mushrooms and cannabis, so that's sort of like the new wave we're going to see. We're going to see more of these, you know, because cannabis is a plant, and when it's joined with other plants, it has this synergistic energy. So when you combine mushrooms and cannabis, it's a whole new level.
Awesome. Great. Well, nice chatting with you guys again. We'll be in touch. And thanks again for all that you're doing to better the community for everyone. Take care, Preston Hall and Regina Schoenberger.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're welcome. Justice, peace, and humility, everyone. Take care, and we'll be in touch soon.